Hey, what's up everybody? It's the Crypto Ginger here. I'm going to do my best to go over these particular articles that I thought were pretty interesting here and tie them together with what we currently know about Ripple the company and XRP, because I think that this is kind of important. And again, outside of it being interesting, I think that these are some issues here that are talked about in these articles have already been resolved by Ripple, but we'll get into that in just a second. The beginning of this particular article talks about a company called Leauges, and I apologize if I'm butchering that name, but they are a multinational professional service network who has published results from a 2018 global blockchain survey where they found that 84% of businesses that were doing the survey that believe blockchain mainstream adoption is just a matter of time, with the biggest issue to this identified as regulatory concerns. Now, most of that would possibly be about the actual cryptocurrency part of the ecosystem, but nonetheless, regulatory concerns have been the talk of basically all of 2018. Ripple has been one of those companies that have mentioned that and have talked about what they're doing to help further the process of getting some sort of answers from places like the SEC and Congress on regulatory concerns. Now, this company Leauges, they also went as far as to state that there are 5 hurdles for blockchain to enter mainstream. They're identifying them as 5 key issues that need to be addressed. And of course, out of these 5 key issues, guys, I think that, again, Ripple has already tackled them, but we'll go over them one at a time, and you tell me what you think. The first key issue has to do with actual barriers. And of course, in this article, it states that businesses that do not adopt or implement the technology of blockchain will be at risk of falling behind. And this is something that Ripple has definitely tried to emphasize. They also have no barriers when I think it comes to reaching out to as many people globally to get them on board using not only their protocols, but to think about using the XRP coin for simply just a use case of transferring and settling payments. They have already been pretty prevalent about going out there and getting their information out through things like the Ripple Swell event that just took place and trying to create mass adoption, again, for the use case of the XRP coin. Now, as far as banks, big financial institutions, they've already made a use case out of XRP with the XRapid protocol, which is going to be implementing XRP coin to, again, settle transactions for cross-border payments. So, to wrap that all up, guys, I think Ripple has already resolved the barriers concern, which has been specified here in this article. The second concern happens to do with speed. Again, something that I think Ripple has already resolved, solved, and exploited with the use case of XRP and its speed. There are other fundamentals that I've spoken about and have already been talked about through Ripple the company via things like the Cobalt protocol. When it's implemented, it will reduce the speed time as well to roughly around 1 second. But I want to go over here to ripple.com and just kind of give you a visual for the sake of speed concern. When you compare Ripple to Ethereum, Bitcoin, and even traditional systems, Ripple is far superior. You can settle transaction payments under 4 seconds. You can also, if you compare that to things like Ethereum, where it runs at about 2+ minutes for payment settlements, Bitcoin is about 1+ hours, and of course traditional systems are about 3 to 5 business days. So again, XRP basically trumps the top performing cryptocurrencies out there when it comes to the payment settlements. Something else that they also trump when it comes to Ethereum and Bitcoin are the transactions per second, which you can see here, XRP does roughly around 1,500 transactions per second, whereas Ethereum is 15 transactions per second, and Bitcoin is 326 transactions per second. So, again, a far superior coin by comparison. So, going back to these hurdles, if you will, again, I think the speed hurdle has already been resolved by Ripple, the company. And again, when we start talking about the Cobalt platform or protocol that could potentially be implemented, that will reduce the speed even more to make it faster and far superior. One of the other issues that they find here that need to be tackled happens to deal with standards. This one kind of stood out a little bit more to me because it has been talked about for the sake of Those who are blockchain coders and developers on staff, adopting the technology is expensive and time-consuming. This is due to the overflowing number of blockchain projects that are utilizing multiple coding languages and mechanisms and protocols. Well, guess what? Ripple not only has some of the smartest people working for them, but they focus on one particular problem when it comes to cryptocurrency, and that happens to do with speed and transaction rates. They didn't have to go through and do a whole spectrum of different types of issues to resolve. They just focus on one. So again, when it comes to the issues concerning standards, I think Ripple has already resolved that particular issue just as well. And lo and behold, there's nothing mentioned in here about Ripple doing that. So I find it kind of a biased, opinionated type of document here. But of course, I just wanted to incorporate and show you guys how Ripple has already resolved a lot of these issues. The fourth particular concern happens to do with low cost of ease of access. Now, I'm just going to go ahead to show you guys on CoinMarketCap. If you have any concerns about what top performing cryptocurrency has the best entry point, if you are seriously looking to do your own research and get invested into a cryptocurrency, I'm going to let you take a look at the top 5. As far as prices are concerned, the only top performing cryptocurrency on the top 5 that is under $1 is XRP. Everything else is multiple dollars or hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars. So you tell me, guys, does it sound like Ripple has resolved that particular issue as well as far as low cost of ease of access? Yeah, I do believe so. The fifth and final particular issue happens to be, again, around that legally sound issue. Now, this article talks about the fact that countries like Malta, South Korea, and Switzerland have already gone as far as leading the regulatory race. Malta is currently right now miles ahead, according to these guys. Well, we definitely know from previous articles that have recently come out that there have been top advocates from places like Coinbase and Ripple that have come out to write letters to the top SEC members, letting them know we need to know answers now about the regulatory concerns. That way, places like the United States doesn't lose the business that it could bring when it comes to blockchain technology and cryptocurrency ecosystem. And with Malta being so inviting, we could easily see more companies move to that country just for the sake of the regulatory issues. But again, Ripple, I believe, has gone about trying to resolve this issue on their own by working hand in hand directly with members of the SEC. Not only that, but paying them to help process more of this information together, get the whole entire regulatory system in place, and also paying them in XRP so they understand how the cryptocurrency works and its use case, and just seeing it in action. So again, Ripple, I believe, is just miles, leagues ahead of the game when it comes to these particular issues here. So they have already resolved all these issues here that are looked upon as, again, key concerns right now. So with that being said, one of the things I wanted to kind of tackle here when it comes to the legality issues, Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, has come out several times, but recently come out stating or talking about whether or not XRP is centralized or decentralized. And of course, whether you agree with him or not, these are the words coming from his mouth, so please don't shoot the messenger. But he states more or less that, is XRP centralized or decentralized? It is very clearly decentralized. I, as CEO of the company, can't control the XRP ledger. I can't change a transaction. Anybody can participate in the ecosystem of XRP. And if Ripple does something that is not in the best interest of the ecosystem, well, the rest of the ecosystem can ignore us. So there you have it, guys. As simply put as Brad Garlinghouse has put it there, it is very much a decentralized ledger, and it's also something that if you don't want to be a part of it, you can just simply ignore it, and they're going to have to make the changes to make it in the best interest of everybody else afterwards. So with that being said, I wanted to kind of move into a little bit of the positive news about XRP. This news just came out here regarding a formerly known company called Monaco, which has been a name we've heard for the last couple of years. They have recently changed their name to Crypto.com, or MCO, and they are a payment and cryptocurrency platform that is going to be adding Ripple XRP to its mobile wallet and debit card app. So if you wanted another means for mass adoption and getting more people, retail investors such as you and I, on board to get cryptocurrency such as XRP, well, here you have it, guys. They're making it as easy as they possibly can. Something else, guys, that I thought was pretty interesting, and this is going to be slightly a bit different from, the talk of Ripple and XRP, but it has been talked about that if you were to split up all of the Bitcoin to every person on the planet, the amount of Bitcoin for every person will be roughly around 0.0023. So keep that in mind when it comes to how much money in cryptocurrency can be dumped in here just simply because of the scarcity. And yes, there are larger amounts of XRP versus Bitcoin, but there is still a scarcity level there by comparison to, for example, the amount of fiat currency on the planet. Fiat currency is something that has become so unstable because it can be created out of thin air. So again, the idea that cryptocurrencies can only be spread out so far before they can't be spread out anymore. And when it comes to absolutely dealing with Bitcoin, if you were, again, to spread it out to every person on the planet, you're only be able to allow to have roughly 0.0023 Bitcoin, and that's only worth about $15 right now. But could you imagine what that would be worth 10, 15 years from now? Something else I thought was really interesting, guys, is that Gemini and their exchange is actually trying to influence more institutional investors by insuring their assets when they get on board the cryptocurrency exchange Gemini. So talk about, again, more ways for mass adoption to occur than a way for an exchange like Gemini to insure your assets. So if something were to happen, they will definitely go through the process of trying to maintain the insurance behind that. One last thing here, guys. Guess who's coming to the cryptocurrency ecosystem? TD Ameritrade. And it's been talked about in the past that we could potentially see the entity like TD Ameritrade hopping on board, and guess what? They are. And they are creating an exchange called RSX. And also as well, what I found interesting here is that not only is it going to be something that's fully regulated and gives the feeling of kind of like the regular market, the capital market that most stock brokers are used to, but the high-speed trading company Virtue Financial will also back the crypto exchange as well. So again, we have a lot of backing behind this huge entity called TD Ameritrade coming on board to the cryptocurrency ecosystem with their own exchange called RSX. So again, more ways for mass adoption to occur. Now I'm going to end this by saying one thing. When it comes back around to that regulatory concern, guys, why would we be seeing so many companies coming out trying to get involved into cryptocurrencies ahead of the game if there was a regulatory concern? If all of these entities had a concern, I would imagine that they would not be going about it as much as they have been to get on board with blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies as well. So again, all of this is my particular speculation. I was trying to wrap up together the general idea of how far superior Ripple, the company, has been by comparison to most other entities out there, and how far superior the XRP coin is by comparison to even your top 5 performing coins out there. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I know that I say this all the time. I could be off my rocker when it comes to this stuff, but I personally believe we are going to be seeing a very large form of mass adoption within the next coming years. Possibly by the end of this year, 2018, we could see something start as far as that trend is concerned, and then the momentum is going to continue. Again, let me know what you guys think. It is awesome to have dialogue with you guys, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for watching. And hey, if you enjoyed what you saw today, please make sure to hit that like button. It really does help get this information out there to as many people as possible. And also as well, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. This channel has been growing so fast and I couldn't have done it without you guys. One last thing, If you would like real up-to-date news about all of your favorite cryptocurrencies, please download that Berm app in the description below. I have it for iPhone and Android. Here, you'll be able to go through and again, check out all the news that you would like regarding your favorite cryptocurrencies. You can also earn Berm coins, which will eventually add up and be allowed to be traded against other cryptocurrencies once the ICO is over with. You go through and go to Vote Reward. Once you've done that, you either like or dislike your favorite news articles, and you'll be rewarded 10 times per day with Berm coins. One last thing, if you go down to the bottom right hand section where it says me, click on invite friends. Here, type in this code in the redeem token section. Once you've done that, hit redeem token. You'll be rewarded with 150 free Berm coins. Outside of that, guys, I definitely appreciate your time and thank you for being a part of this channel. Bye-bye.